A position at a premier tech business such as Google is often seen as the pinnacle of one's career by many. It is not unexpected. Among the $4 trillion corporations in the world is Alphabet, the parent company of Google. Every year it receives millions of applications from people hoping to work there, but relatively few are accepted. Even if the majority of individuals will never get the opportunity to work for Google or at one of its numerous offices, they can at least read about it. Although working at Google may seem awesome, it's not always a bed of roses, as you are about to discover. Number 10. You encounter a variety of derogatory names. Each employee at Google is known by an informal moniker. Every employee uses Google, which is the most popular. Noogler, which is pronounced Noogler, comes next and is used for recently hired staff members. Gaylers are Google employees who publicly support or identify as members of the LGBT community. They are not to be confused with Googlers over 40, who are known as Graydlers. Gray Googler is the source of Graydler. In this case, gray refers to their hair. While some people do not have gray hair, it is irrelevant. Doogler is a space dedicated to Googlers' dogs and their owners. Googlers who enjoy beer are known as Brooglers, and those who do not identify as Jewish are known as Juglers. The naming syndrome can still affect former Googlers. Pronounced Zoogler, their name is Sugler. The term ex-Googler inspired the name. Number 9. No 20% time is granted to you. It's a frequent misperception that Google employees have one day off each week to work on side projects they believe will help Google. This is the well-known 20% time, which is still one of Google's distinguishing characteristics. Around 20% of Google employees launch numerous popular services, such as AdSense, Gmail, and Google News. But the 20% time is dead, as many Googlers and Suglers already know, and as many Nooglers have discovered to their dismay. Though that is merely on paper, it is still theoretically in existence. With Google's years-long crackdown, it is nearly hard to take that time off these days. According to some Google employees, the 20% time is now the 120% time. That is the entire time they dedicate to their primary endeavor, plus an extra 20%. You're right if you believe that sounds like overtime. Number 8. During the first year, you receive the Google 15. Every Google employee receives 3 square meals per day at no cost. They might also overindulge in a variety of fruits and snacks to keep their digestive systems occupied. Nooglers frequently put on 15 pounds after being hired because Google employees have such unlimited access to food. We refer to this as the Google 15 at Google. It's rumored that Sergey Brin, Google's co-founder, mandates that all employees work 200 feet or less from food. This explains why Google offers so much food. Number 7. You can respond to oddball interview questions. Google is well known for its peculiar interview questions for potential hires. These odd queries do not spare even interns. They are to estimate how many tennis balls they believe an airplane can hold. More challenging but equally bizarre questions are posed to potential Google employees, such as how many books are published in the US annually, how many haircuts are given in the US annually, how they would design an ATM for the elderly, and if given the opportunity, how they would end homelessness in San Francisco. Google has banned some of its odd interview questions because it recognizes that they are frequently challenging. This contains both reasonable questions such as why are manhole covers rounded and unusual ones, like the number of golf balls that would fill a school bus, the number of piano tuners alive, and the quantity of vacuums manufactured in the US annually. Number 6. Everybody has a ladder allotted to them. The instant a noodler is hired, they are allotted to a ladder. The path via which they can advance is what we understand by the ladder. For instance, those hired for business positions are limited to moving up the O ladder, whereas engineers are limited to moving up the T ladder. The majority of Google employees aspire to climb the T ladder since it is the most profitable. In reality, a lot of Google employees start in different departments to move into engineering later on. Many eventually discover, though, that changing ladders is an extremely difficult and time-consuming process. Even if they are capable in their new position, those who succeed in making the transition are frequently relegated to the lower rung of the new ladder. Number 5. The procedure of reviewing employees is intricate. Google uses a sophisticated evaluation process. Everyone evaluates each other. Employees are rated by their managers, and employees in turn rate themselves, other employees, and their bosses. This is known by Google as the 360-degree feedback. Every Google employee is subject to 2 annual reviews in addition to a monthly review process. Within the first 6 months of the year, the first annual review, also known as a preview, takes place. The primary review takes place between October and November. The fate of a Googler is ultimately decided by this primary review. Beginning with each Googler's accomplishments for the year, in no more than 512 words comes the major review. Their coworkers receive this information and use it to score them based on how well they lead, solve problems, work independently, and establish their voice, as well as how well they align with Google's core principles. Each employee at Google sees how their peers assess them, but they are unable to see the rater's name, thus they are unaware of who said what. Their supervisors alone have access to the information. Number 4. Your car may be your home. There is a housing shortage in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is home to numerous big giants including Google and Silicon Valley. Many well-paid workers, including Google's highly compensated software developers, are unable to afford basic housing due to the high cost of rent. Ironically, the housing crisis was sparked by these developers a few years ago when they began paying exorbitant rents for ostentatious mansions to live closer to their places of employment. The bulk of workers in Silicon Valley now reside in distant, cheaper houses due to the high cost of rent. They wind up sitting in traffic for hours, which is a drawback. People who live in buses and trucks parked close to their workplaces do not want to spend their time in traffic. Number 3. To be promoted, you must have a promo packet. At Google, promotions are rather straightforward until you reach a mid-level position, at which point your immediate manager is no longer able to advance you. After this, a group of superiors will decide whether or not to promote you based only on the information in your promotional packet. A summary of your accomplishments at Google, each favorable review you've earned from annual reviews, and several essays outlining your qualifications for a promotion are all included in your promo packet. You gather this data and convey it to people in authority via your manager. This method appears straightforward and uncomplicated until you realize how much bureaucracy is involved. An exceptionally uncommon career path for Exubler. One senior software developer quit to become an independent developer after being taken advantage of so many times. Because it disregards Google employees who worked on unfinished projects that are too little or quantifiable, or who have not finished a project, the promo package system is defective. Number 2, you'll receive poor treatment. Google is well known for its luxurious workspaces, complimentary meals, and generous pay scales. But if you look past all the glamour and doom, especially if you work as a contractor, you will see that not all is as it seems. Google employed 102,000 people full-time and 121,000 contractors as of March 2019. That suggests that more than half of Google's staff consists of contractors. Even though contractors perform the same tasks and work out of the same offices as full-time workers, Google does not view or handle them like employees. Compared to full-time employees, contractors are paid less and enjoy fewer perks. They put in extra hours without getting paid and are not allowed to seek internal employment or attend business functions or parties. Furthermore, although they report to Google managers and are subject to firing for any cause at any time, they are not allowed to refer to themselves as Googlers. Number 1. Because Google does not want you to, you are unable to organize or join a union. Because Google forbids them from organizing unions, employees and contractors are powerless to oppose many of the company's divisive policies. Google employs a variety of deceptive strategies to thwart its attempts to organize unions, but it does not actively prevent workers from doing so. Using anti-union consultants to mediate disputes between lower and mid-level Googlers and contractors and high-ranking Googlers is one of those strategies. Additionally, these consultants offer upper management advice on how to handle complaints from contractors and employees. A company like that is IRI Consultants. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.